Stay on with us. We have some more breaking news coming in. Now, Iran has launched the first missile barrage against Israel after the US strike. Sirens heard in Tel Aviv amid the Iranian ballistic missile attack. This is the first Iran attack after US struck the three nuke sites of Iran, that is Natanz, Isfahan and Fordo. MJ Vinod, this is the first Iranian strike against Israel now after the US strikes yesterday.
Yeah, and see, Israel has been pounded by Iran for almost a week now, and the supersonic weapons, hypersonic weapons like Fateh 1 and 2 have been, wreaking havoc on Israel, and Israel looks like has no answer for these hypersonic, warheads that are coming in. So all these three layers of security, David Sling, Iron Dome, all these looks like have either reached their limit or exposed in their capability. This, I am sure, is being very carefully studied both by Hezbollah, studied by Houthis especially. Hezbollah is willy-nilly Iran's, extended arm. Houthis are probably studying this very, very carefully, and other rest of the nations which are against Israel also probably are studying this very, very carefully. So this attack by Iran on Israel is a attack which is a follow-on attack which it is conducting for last 1 week. I'm also surprised at the fact that Iran too has some kind of intelligence penetration in Israel, which is very, very surprising because Israel is an extremely closed country with people. Getting information out of Israel is not an easy task. How has Iran accomplished this in itself will be a study for military historians and strategists like me for some time to come. Over to you.
Right. Also, MJ Vinod, when we talk about the bombs and missiles, it's also very crucial to talk about the Tomahawk missiles that were used by the US. The US fired 30 Tomahawk missiles. Can you please talk about more about the crucial importance of these missiles and why
Great,
why
great
were they
question.
used?
Great question. In fact, see, in a ballistic missile, you know the path. And when ballistic missile is launched, you pick up the launch from satellite, contrary to common belief, because of the heat that ballistic missile generates. So when you see the first maybe 10 to 20 seconds of a ballistic missile's path, you can predict where is it going to re-enter the atmosphere and which all weapons you need to use to intercept them. For example, the one which we intercepted over Sirsa, which was coming towards Delhi, which Pakistan launched during our skirmish with Pakistan. So ballistic missile has got a very, definite path. It's a ballistic path. That is why it is called a ballistic missile. Whereas for a cruise missile, it is a different ball game altogether. Cruise missile is like an aeroplane. It takes off, follows the contour of the land. In fact, Tomahawk was used even during Gulf War, the OP, Iraqi freedom and OP, enduring freedom. Senior Bush launched it against Saddam Hussein. Both the times the Tomahawk was used. Tomahawk per se is got a lot of, its offshoots. Chinese have their version of Tomahawk. Pakistan have their version of Tomahawk. Iran also has their version of Tomahawk, and they all have been copied from Tomahawk. Tomahawk does something called TERCOM, terrain contour matching, which is the older version of something called DESMAC. So it matches the terrain data with the data that it is seeing, so that it follows the contour of the lay of the land. Intercept, though they are subsonic, by the way, by 0.7 Mach. Intercepting a Tomahawk in only in final stages is possible. Otherwise, Tomahawk really, I mean, more often than not, easily skims through the defenses and hits the target. Tomahawk's hit capability has been, historically more than 80%, which is for a weapon very good. And so many Tomahawks have been fired. They have been fired from the sea, from the carrier battle group of that US is deployed all over. both in all over all across, I would say, Iran, surrounding from north, west, as well as from the south. Over to you.
Right, MJ Vinod. Then also, let us talk about as to the Strait of Hormuz, the oil trade that we have been talking about to and fro, as to how that is going to be affected. Like I earlier asked you about the role of Russia and China. Clearly the oil prices are going to shoot up, and we also had a conversation with Hardipuri 2 or 3 days ago, where he talked about that India has nothing to worry about.
Maybe for short term, India may not have to worry about. A lot of people do not know. India's largest export also is oil. For a nation which is not producing oil, we are exporting finished goods from our shores to many countries, including Australia. That a lot of people may not be aware because we have great facilities in all over India, especially in Gujarat, where we are producing oil products out of crude. So our strategic reserves are not like many nations surrounding us. Our strategic reserves are much, much better. But when the crude oil flow dwindles a little, we will feel the pinch. There is no doubt about it. Which is the reason why we are also weighing in on both the countries to quickly, de-escalate the situation because world will feel the pinch coming to crude oil shortage, especially those countries which are in, direct trade with Iraq, like us. We are trading with Iraq a lot. Even Pakistanis, they have a lot of, especially the gas trade with Iraq, and 60% of them, I believe, is on the back channel, as in black market. So that is even those countries, especially Quetta towards northwards, will get affected. The common people like you and me will get affected as the day progresses if this war or this skirmish stretches to a long drawn war like Ukraine-Russia war. Over to you.
Right. Also, MJ Vinod, when we talk about the regional importance, do you think this war is going to escalate into a world war, or is it just going to stay regional? And what is expected from the Middle East war next?
Uh, it is very difficult to predict. B, it completely depends on Khomeini's tonight's mood. How is he going to, retaliate? Third and most importantly is does, you know, Iran have that kind of penchant to, stretch it further while their most of their nuclear facilities gone. See, I don't have the trump card to play, and I have lost my trump card. Will I continue playing, or will I fold up my card and say quit it and wait for another deck? That completely depends on how the BDA, the bomb damage assessment, has been given to Khamenei by their leaders, and what decision he takes. Because unlike many democracies in the Iranian government, it flows from the supreme leader. Whatever supreme leader says holds. Supreme leader for Iranians, I mean, if you speak to the Iranian military, especially, supreme leader for them is almost like a demigod. Whatever he says goes. It's as simple as that. So I don't know what
Also,
call will he take it.
MJ Vinod, when we talk about the
Mm.
nuclear bases that are very important, strategic to Iran, US has clearly struck and damaged these very important nuclear bases in Iran. But there's one nuclear site, which is the Bushehr site, which the United Nations Atomic Watchdog also said yesterday that if that is struck, then that is going to cause the most damage because the radioactive leak is going to be deadly.
It is because see, that is a storage facility, and what people, viewers also need to understand. Nuclear weapon is not like any other explosive. I can take a TNT, put fire to it, it will burst. Nuclear fuel is not like that. Nuclear fuel requires chain reaction to start. For chain reaction to start, it needs an instigator or something that starts this chain reaction. And the technology to do that is very complex. It is not easy. I mean, I've been to many nuclear facilities. There are some nuclear fuel which you can handle. आप हाथ में उठा सकते हो उसको. So those kind of fuel which is stored now when it gets bombed, now it breaks up into smithereens. And let me tell you, these nuclear fuel have because it is unstable, it continues to leak for thousands of years. So this little leak that the nuclear fuel will have spread all across is something which you may not be able to contain. It is not going to do damage. It is going to do something like a continuous leak for very long time. Very long time I'm talking about is 2,000 years. So people have to go in and pick up these smithereens and clear that area. It's going to be an Herculean task.
Right.
Very, very difficult to do.
Right. Thank you, MD Vinod, for all of your expertise and breaking it down for all of us as to what this Middle Eastern war is going to mean going forward. But with that, we're slipping into a very short break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.